know why I crashed. You know about the culture of Atlanta. Yeah. I had to ask you first, and we'll pass it to my boy Sean, and then I'll give my little something on it if we have a little bit of time. But we know NBA free agency's coming up and things of that nature. We know draft is coming. Landon probably get the 5th pick. We don't even know if the NBA, some people think the lottery's rigged. Who knows how the balls will fall. But there's always been an issue of certain athletes want to come to Atlanta, especially play for the Hawks. Do you think it has something to do with the culture of Atlanta? Like, what do you think is like the reason athletes don't want to come play Atlanta? Like, Dwight Howard came, but he came late. He didn't want to come in his prime. LeBron James didn't want to come here. Kobe, when he was, I guess, demanding trades a little bit, even though he stayed with LA, he didn't want to come here. Obviously, Jordan stayed with the Bulls. And Kevin Durant, he could come to Atlanta. They got money, but it's speculating he want to go to New York or stay with Golden State. So what do you think the reason people don't want to come today?
I think it's a part of the history of Atlanta. It's the what have you done for me lately? So it's not like the 90s when, the Braves have just won and then boom, somebody Deion Sanders, But right now, on the basketball side, it's just like we've been mediocre for a lot of times. And it's like we haven't had that superstar. If we had one superstar, if we had a Carmelo get gifted to us by a lucky trade or something in his prime, then maybe another person would be like, hey, I'll come to Atlanta, we can have that shine. But until somebody steps up in that building from that organization, drafted or either traded by accident or luck or actually just going out by as a GM and being like, okay, I'm gonna do this shit on the limb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until it's internal like Golden State, you know what I'm saying? Golden State got started because internally they built their program. Like Atlanta needs to build Trae Young, Collins, and the new pieces they need to build from the inside out to be able to attract what they want.
Let me say before I pass it to Sean, you knee deep in the rap game and stuff. A lot of rappers here in Georgia. Let's be real about the nightlife. A lot of different strip clubs. I've been to them, you've been to them. Let's just be real. I don't know about you, Sean, but I've been to them. One Saturday night, sometimes Sunday. No judgment. I'm just saying. Isn't the life here, man? It's not an expensive state to live. A lot of people got cheap rent here compared to New York and LA. What's up, like? Give me a little bit of background. Y'all rapper lifestyle. The rappers love it.
Shoot, if you're a superstar, if you're a playmaker, come to Atlanta. We got everything. We got Julio Jones. We got Martin Luther King. We got a whole bunch of history around here. We got Coca-Cola. We are the capital. You know what I'm saying?
TNT down here too.
We're the TNT down here. Shaq, Kenny, Charles, they down here. CNN, Cartoon Network, all this stuff is here. We're the superstars of the South. We're the capital of the South. Is Atlanta, Georgia. So come down, and we can play. We can have fun. We got all the rappers. We got all the entertainment. Movies being shot down here. Come down here and have fun. You got to take a leap. KD, all these people. KD, come down here, man. Come down here, bring one of your homeboys, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna have a good time. You can come party with the crash, you know what I mean?
Okay. Sean, what's your take on it? We know from an analytics standpoint, you love the Falcons. You're not a big Hawks guy, more LA guy, but you see, that might be looked at as a problem too. Like, shit, the Hawks, they ain't that sexy team people want to come play for. People want to go to LA. I mean, New York hasn't won as much as the Hawks have won, and it seems like people want to go to the Hawks, Nets, maybe Clippers. Why do you think the reason is that?
I pretty much agree with Jerry. I like what he said at first with the history of the franchise. The Hawks, I mean, their biggest player is Dominique Wilkins, and would you really consider Dominique Wilkins a top 50 player of all time? Maybe it's arguable, but the fact that we have to think about it is like an issue. So, and nothing against Dominique Wilkins, but
Horford has some decent guys.
Yeah, but it's always decent. You don't
Joe
really have
Johnson,
Joey
decent.
Yeah, just decent, but come on, you know what I mean? So it's just the Hawks don't really have. They haven't won a championship. I can't remember the last time they've been to a finals. At least we know the Knicks been in the finals in the 70s. And it's different. Like everything you said with Atlanta, they are probably like the third most popular city. So it's just like I understand that, but it's still LA. It's the history of the Los Angeles Lakers. Even the Clippers. Now we've seen what they did in the playoffs. They're starting to be known. The New York Knicks, Golden State. Now it's like, man, everybody does. It's not necessarily now because we've seen a couple years ago Golden State really started winning in 2014 and still in California, the Bay Area. So it's, it's just other venues and other cities, that you have a winning culture and you have history with players playing there where it's like, you know what, let me take my talents probably to somewhere else because Atlanta has no one there. And at least you see in these other teams, it's like, at least, okay, I see it's a piece here. I see it's a piece here. At least with Carmelo Anthony, he came to New York. You know what I mean? Like, they were decent with Carmelo Anthony, but because Carmelo still was a superstar at that time, it was like, you know what? Let me see if I could build something around there. You get Amar Stoudemire, Chauncey Billups, Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith, and you start having pieces there. I know you haven't heard, like, man, Sean, all those names, and we still stunk. So I'm saying how you probably feel. But, the point is that I just think, like Jay said too, I mean, it's a start. I think Atlanta has to start somewhere. With Trae Young, I think he has a really good upside to his career. He can shoot, he can pass, average 19 points a game, 8 assists. And hopefully, if you get a Zion Williamson, possibly, because Atlanta's definitely going to be up there in the lottery picks. If you get a Zion Williamson, hey, maybe
that's crazy if they would have won the lottery.
Exactly. And last cool thing, as far as the Atlanta Hawks, since we're talking about why people don't want to come to Atlanta, maybe you do need a splash. I mean, the biggest splash they got probably was Dwight Howard, which was there who was there just for one season, and he's from Atlanta. But I look at a guy like, say, Jimmy Butler. If the 76ers get beat against Toronto, which we expect, he's still going to be a free agent next year. Why not get a Jimmy Butler? Because I don't think Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, any of these guys, people listen, they're not coming. Even if Zion said they're not coming to Atlanta. You know what I mean? So maybe a Jimmy Butler used to play in the East in Chicago. Maybe he'll take his talents to Atlanta, and see what he can do. And you have someone who can pass in the ball as well. So
Atlanta needs to pay the money. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. And a lot of the Eastern Conference teams, they don't have that dreaming mindset. They're not ready. They want to not pay over the luxury tax. Golden State going over the luxury tax. LA is willing to go over the luxury tax. So they're doing whatever it takes to win. And these franchises in the East, they're lesser or worse because they don't want to go over the luxury tax. You got the money, spend the money, fans city happy.